polynomials. But before we even start, I want to ask you, what does this mean? It equals 4, but what does it mean? What are you actually doing? 2 times 2, right? Same with this. 3 squared equals 3 times 3. There's a reason I'm showing you this. Well, then what does this mean? X times x. I'm going to take it further. What does this mean? Two y times 2y, which equals what? 4y squared. 2 times 2 is 4. Y times y is y squared. So keep that in mind, okay? Just wanted to refresh you what that all meant for later. Okay. Sometimes when you have to multiply two binomials and they're exactly the same binomial, a plus b. Remember, this just means a plus b times a plus b. That's what it means. And when you have the exact same binomial times itself, there's a special pattern that if you can try and remember will make your life a whole lot easier. So when you have this, it actually equals the square of a plus 2 times a times b plus the square of b. So this actually would FOIL out to equal that. And I'm going to show you an example in just a minute. Same with this. Remember, this means a minus b times a minus b. That's what it means. And you could FOIL and all that kind of stuff, or you can remember the special pattern. Notice that this is a plus and this is a minus. The only thing that's different is that you have the square of a minus 2 times a times b plus the square of b. So the difference between these two simply are, if this is an add, these are all both add. If this is a minus and an add. And I'll show you how these work in just a second here. Okay. So we're going to use these special products and just practice with them real quick. This means x plus 4 times itself, correct? X plus 4 times x plus 4. If this happens, you can use this special pattern. So you have to identify the x as the a and the 4 as the b. And then we're just going to follow exactly what it says to do here. It says, okay, to get the answer, you square a. So I'm going to write x squared. That's my a. And then you add to that 2 times your a times your b. And then you add to that your b squared. And then you make it pretty. Clean it up. So this would actually be x squared plus 2 times 4 is what? So the middle term becomes 8x plus 16. Now, for you naysayers or doubters, let's do a box real quick and just see what happens. Okay? So you don't have to just watch. Just watch. You don't have to write anything. I'm going to use a box to multiply these together. X plus 4 times x plus 4. X squared, 4x, 4x, and 16. Oh, look what happens. My a is squared. I have double my a times b. You see that? Double my a times b. This is my b, this is my a. And I have a times b, a times b. I have 2 of them. And then I have 16, which ends up to be exactly the same answer. See what I mean? It's just easier. It's quicker. Once you get the hang of it, it's quicker. Okay, let's do this one. This is a minus, so we have to have a minus first and then a plus. And we do the same thing. Here, though, just this is the tricky part. This is a. B is just 7. It's not negative 7. B is just 7. And then you stick it into your pattern. So we square a, we put a minus, we do 2 times my a times my b, which is just 7, plus my b squared. And then we make it pretty. So y squared is the first term. 2 times 7 is 14 plus 49. And that's it. If you can recognize what these are and learn that pattern, it's helpful. If you can't remember the pattern, you can always FOIL or box. Right? Okay. This one, let's do this one. Is this a plus? It's a plus, right? So it's going to be plus plus. This is my A, this is my B. This is where you have to start using parentheses. My A is 2x squared. That's my A squared. Plus 2 times A times B. That's this pattern right here. 2 times A times B. Plus my B squared. I'm just going to put it in parentheses. You don't really have to for that one. But okay, now be careful. This is why I talked about this. What does 2x squared actually mean? It means 2x times 2x, right? So it actually, when you do that, what do you get? 4x squared. So to make this term simplified or pretty, it would actually be 4x squared. Plus 2 times 1, which is 4x, plus 1. And that's your answer. Common mistake. Very common mistake. Please don't write this down. People would write this as their answer. And that is not correct because you have to square 2x. Okay? And that's not squaring 2x. All right, let's do one more. Actually, you do this one on your own. Just like we did this one. You try it. Here's the pattern. Do this one. Remember, here's the pattern. It's a squared plus 2 times a times b plus b squared. And it's exactly what I filled in there. And then I simplified each term. Question? Yes, Garrett.
Why do you include the 4? Wouldn't it be, why isn't it
Well-
6x plus 8? Why is it 2 times 3x times 4? Wouldn't it be
Because that's the pattern. And it's just like when we did it here. You would end up with double a times b. And that's why we double a times b. Yes?
If the 3x got squared, why did you carry it out?
This right here?
Yeah.
How did I make it that?
No, why did you keep the 2 when you took it down? If you squared it?
Oh, because, good question.